There are two chances, just like you said. Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball that you could have scored. At least you could have given, even if you didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Grounded in the beautiful game. You know, some people are just fans, while some people are fans and also can interpret the game. So you are in for a very interesting episode today. Don't go nowhere. I still remain your host, Adeyemi, and we'll be back in a moment. Just stay with us.
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals.
Yeah, you're welcome back, viewers. You know, I told you earlier that it's going to be an interesting game. I have here with me in the studio, Shegun. You recall his face that he's been a regular on the show. Shegun, you're welcome to the show.
Good evening, Yemi. Good evening, football lovers around the world. Well,
And by the way, he's a Chelsea fan. But we are not here to talk about Chelsea.
Congratulations to Manchester City. They're actually the champions-elect of the English Premiership.
Not just elect, they've been giving
the champions. They're still champions-elect because the season is yet to be over. But the champions. Good game of football we have good game of football this night. Brighton against Manchester City, and we also have the Italy against Nigeria in the under 20 game.
Yeah.
So these are two beautiful games we're actually looking forward to tonight.
Yeah. The two beautiful games we are looking forward to. So far, so good for Man City. What do you think works for them this season?
Well, no doubt. They actually have one of the very best squad in EPL, or I'm saying in the world right now. This is a team that has continuity, and there's one thing going good for Pep Guardiola. This is a coach that actually knows the kind of players he wants in his team. He doesn't just go into the transfer market to just go buy any player. He goes into the market to buy what he knows fits into his squad. And that is one thing that is actually working for me. It's not about spending 600 or 700 million pounds in the transfer window. Just get the good players that are actually going to give you what you want. And that's what is working for him this season. They are also in the Champions League final and they are in the FA Cup final. And the Champions League is looking like a trophy they might actually be getting this season because they are clear favourites for it this year.
Yeah, of course they are. Even the one they lost to, they were the favourites. So in football, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. But my money is quite on Manchester City because you're looking at the squad, you're looking at a striker like Erling Haaland, then that's what we're talking about when you look at Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
At a point, he has Gabriel Jesus, and he was looking at it like, this is not the kind of striker. He's not giving me the numbers I actually want up front.
Yeah.
And Erling Haaland came in, and having a striker scoring 36 goals in EPL in his first season, just outsmarting the other strikers in the EPL. So it shows how massive Erling Haaland is to this team, and how much push he can drag this team to the Champions League final. And who knows? Finally, they might be getting their UEFA Champions League trophy after a long wait.
Yeah, a quick update. The 90th minute in the game between Real Madrid and Rayo Vallecano, and Real Madrid just made it 2-1. You know, Rayo Vallecano equalized.
Rayo might be relegating today. Because I think if they lose this game, they might be going down to the Segunda Division. Good enough for Real Madrid, nothing to lose anymore. We know the champions in La Liga already, Barcelona. I think they'll be working towards coming back stronger next season.
No, Rayo Vallecano is actually safe. You're referring to Valladolid.
Real Valladolid, yeah.
So it's a safe one for.
It's a safe one for them.
For them,
so it's just like another formality game.
Yeah, just and Real Madrid too will most likely want to end the season second, because they are currently third. And the first goal for Real Madrid was scored by Benzema in the 31st minute. The equalizer came from the Tamos in the 84th minute, and Rodrigo made it 2-1 in the 89th minute. Wow. And from the game between Elche and Sevilla, 1 goal apiece, 90 minutes. Villarreal against Cadiz, 2-0, 90 minutes. And the 28th minute of the game between Brighton and Man City.
Yeah, we just saw Brighton hit the crossbar from a free kick
yeah.
Just some moments ago. Yeah, the game is actually they're actually building into the game, because for the first 10 minutes, it was looking like a one-sided game. Just Manchester City everywhere. We know Brighton doesn't have anything to lose. They're just coming here to play some beautiful game of football. Same thing about Manchester City. They are already the champions. Brighton has already qualified for Europa League next season. That's a massive one for this team.
Yeah.
And goes on to show about the good work the Zebi is doing in this team. And that is one of the reasons why Pep Guardiola actually loves the Zebi kind of football. Because he's a coach that is not scared of playing that attacking football.
Nigeria just got a goal.
Wow, against Italy. And
Nigeria just scored a goal against Italy in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. So is Nigeria one? Wow.
You know the beauty of this game is I never give Nigeria any chance against Italy. Because I look at it, I actually saw the Italy game against Brazil, and there's some of these players in the Italian team I've actually before. Wow, this is a beautiful team play football, team play goal for Nigeria. Well, let's see how much they can build on this. If they can keep on this victory, that's a fantastic goal. That's a striker goal. I think that's Yusuf scoring that goal for Nigeria. That's a good one for us. Well, I think that now they can actually go into the game and play more football. As I was saying about the Italian team, quite a number of these players played in the Italian Serie A. You have Pafudi, who is actually one of the next big stars in the world, playing for Empoli. Is Empoli or Udinese? I think Udinese. Then there's this Chelsea boy who got from Inter Milan, Cassai. He's actually the captain of this team. And there's another guy, Bardazzi. You look at that front three, how much they tormented Brazil that day. It shows how much these guys, the experience is there. These are players who actually play top flight football. I think that's the goal scorer going out. That's the goal scorer going out for Nigeria. So it's a good one for us. I actually didn't give Nigeria Lawal, I rightly said, is the goal scorer, right? I never gave Nigeria a chance coming into this game because I saw a game against Dominican Republic. It wasn't much to write home about, but today they've come into the game. It shows how much you grow into the game into the tournament as time progresses. Yes. Good game of football, 1-0. Let's see how much we can stick. Maybe probably can get a goal.
And the funniest part is the bookies went for a huge 5-odd for Nigeria.
Yeah, because you look at Italy, I guess one of the favorites of this competition in the first match against Brazil, and how much the first took Brazil to the cleanser before finally playing 3-2.
And a quick correction there, it was Salem Fago.
Salem Fago that got the goal for Nigeria. Wow, that was a beautiful
so
goal
you
for
can
him.
continue.
I don't know. I know how much my Twitter followers would just be actually waiting for me towards the end of the game because I actually didn't give them any chance. I was just like, oh. At the end of the day, Nigeria will just get 3 points. That's our first victory against the Dominican Republic.
And they struggled actually.
They lose against Italy and lose against Brazil. So qualify for best loser. But this is a good one for the team. I remember the last time we got to the final, that was the Samson Siasia led 2005 squad.
Yeah.
It's almost started like this, and we never gave the team any chance until they got to the final. So good one for them. Good one for their confidence. I think if they get a victory against Italy, it's going to boost their morale.
And this one tournament that Nigeria has not laid their hands on the title.
Yeah. This,
After
I think
being
after World Cup is under 20.
Yeah. So, and is the 64th minute of the game between Italy and Nigeria. And Nigeria has a player down injured, receiving medical attention. And so far so good. Who would you say is really coming to the party in the game between Italy and Nigeria?
Yeah, I saw the first half. I saw like the first 30 minutes in the first half. It was a balanced game. I never really expected this from Nigeria. Like, yeah, they actually contained Pafudi and Kasadi up front because we know how much this Italian play their kind of football. Probably they would have come into this game, try and push the Nigerians into making some unnecessary errors. But we've seen the guys just play football the way football is supposed to be played. And probably it's a great game. It's still a balanced game between both teams. But Nigeria are up by 1-0 now. And this is Eli Haaland. This might just be
Eli Haaland has a chance. Pass the ball to Foden.
And Foden just got
and Man City just took the lead in the game between Brighton and Man City.
If there's one thing about Phil Foden,
on the 25th minute of the game.
If there's one thing about Phil Foden, he's Mr. Reliable in this team.
Yeah.
Anytime he's playing, you surely get a goal or he's on the assist.
He's too, sometimes you feel
This is a great team play football. You look at how much, they shouldn't be allowing any Haaland. You know how good Haaland is. He shouldn't be giving that space. And I think this defender actually made a mess of that goal.
When you are in position like that, you can only be praying.
You know what's about Manchester City is they can actually rise to the occasion. This 1-0 might just lead to another massacre from Manchester City in this game. Luckily, your team lost just 1-0 last week, and glory be to them. Because I was expecting a massacre in that game.
Not your team.
When I saw, they were actually good to Chelsea. Because I look at the starting 11. If not for how bad Frank Lampard is with his setup, it was a game Chelsea should have gotten a point of victory in that game. Manchester City won't set this type of squad is set today against Chelsea and won't beat Chelsea that day.
Looking at that, let's talk a little about the Man City Chelsea game. Looking at what Lampard started with. There are sometimes you look at...
I saw his press conference before that game, and they asked him about Chukwuemeka, because Chukwuemeka was supposed to be in this competition. As a matter of fact, he is England under-20 captain, but Frank Lampard didn't allow him to go for the competition. And same thing with Lewis Hall. He said he needed them. There were so many injuries in Chelsea midfield, and we've not seen Chukwuemeka play for Chelsea for quite a time. And when he was asked about it, he said he has to look at his job first. I was just like, which job? Which job? You're not here next season. The only big advice I can give Frank Lampard is after this competition, just go into punditry. Forget football.
Or maybe
football management is not. No. Football management as a coach. Frank Lampard can get a top flight work next season. Yeah, any coach, even should a club sack a coach and they're getting Frank Lampard, it shows how serious that club is.
Or maybe you should go back to championship and go and build up again.
Well, let's see.
Maybe. And it's the 27th minute of the game between 28th minute actually.
And this should be
Brighton
that's the problem.
That's
my problem with Brighton. Sorry to cut you. That's my problem with Brighton.
Yes.
They kind of missed some glaring chances. We saw that from Daniel Welbeck. No, we saw that from Daniel Welbeck in the first half. And this was what happened against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup final.
Even
they
the
lost
league.
clearing, they lost getting chances. Chances they're supposed to be taking, chances they're supposed to be scoring. Against Manchester City, you're not supposed to be losing this type of goals.
Yeah.
And they are supposed to use this game as a rehearsal for their Europa League next season.
Yeah.
Just try when you're playing how much you play against big teams like Manchester City.
Then you
surely
can
going to
test your strength.
Test your strength, how much you're going to play against big teams. And you look at this squad, there's a chances that some players might not be in this Brighton team next season. Players like Leo Kowi, he'll surely be going back to Chelsea. There's Sesaido, who big teams are actually interested. You have Chelsea who are interested. You have Arsenal. You have almost all the big teams interested in him. There's a McAllister who is likely 70%
Almost
Liverpool player right now.
yeah.
So I think players like Gilmore should actually grow into this game. These are games that can actually make you cement your position in this team next season.
Yeah. And you know, Brighton qualifying for their first
Europa League.
If I make you a prophet, where do you think they can get to next?
Well, I don't really expect much from them in the Europa League. It reminds me of when Leicester actually qualified for the Champions League after winning the EPL.
That was a good attempt.
That was a good attempt. That is Bedazi, right? Yes, that's Bedazi. It was reminds me of when Leicester qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah.
That when they won the EPL, and nothing really much from them. You know, it's going to be one too many games for Brighton next season. Even finishing 60th, finishing in the top 7 next season might actually be a problem for them. Because by next season, I expect the big boys, I'm talking about Liverpool, Chelsea to actually grow into the game next season. It just happened this season, but let's see how next season is. We know how good this team is. Talking about Brighton, it's actually a very formidable team. They are good with everything. They have fantastic upcoming youth player. Yeah. So let's see how it pans out. But I don't expect them to win.
Oh, that's a good.
I don't expect them to win.
That's a deflected shot.
I don't expect much from them in the Europa League next season.
And Enciso just came in, I think, this January.
Yeah.
How big of a plus is he for Brighton?
Yeah, Enciso is one of these players that you don't really know much about. It just shows how good the scouting system is at Brighton.
He came from Libertad.
Yes, from Libertad in Paraguay. Yeah. How good they just go into all the small league and go and get good players. We know how good the South American players is. You can't just write them off any day. Same thing about Sesaido. They brought him in from Ecuador League. That should be a goal. Mitoma should be scoring that, and he scored it. Let's see if the ref will give that. Let's see if the ref is going to give that.
Let's see if VAR won't rule it out.
I think it's a chest. Was there an number there? Okay, as I was saying, you see, this young man, Estupenia, also came in from the Ecuador League. So you see how much these players are actually worth right now. Even Casado
came this season.
Just brought them in because Casado came in to replace Mali player Bissouma.
Yeah.
They actually joined Tottenham. Because at the point when they were losing Bissouma, everybody were looking like, who is going to that's his chest? I don't think it's an arm ball, it's his chest. No. I think that's his chest. VR has a lot of work to do here. There's Zidane there. We need to just see if it was after the line he crossed it with Zidane. VR just erased that.
So VR just chopped off the goal of Brighton, removed it forever and ever.
We've not really seen much of it.
And that's one thing about this VAR of a thing. You score a goal, you do 25 bar fleet, and VAR chop it off.
Well, it's actually good for football because it actually reduced controversy in football.
And brought some controversies too.
We saw in the La Liga the Vinicius case against what did they play last? Valencia. When the VAR ref didn't actually show when Vinicius was being grappled in the neck. Yeah. Because I saw in the news this morning that the VAR ref was actually sacked this morning. Yeah. Because he only showed the picture of when Vinicius actually elbowed the player. And that was not really an intentional elbow because he was just trying to wiggle himself out of him being grappled. But good one, at least they are paying for their mistakes.
Apart from that, let's talk about Vinicius. You know, he made that rant. You know, about racism, how La Liga is racist as a league. And it brings a lot of questions. What do you think can be done about racism?
It brings a lot of questions, and don't let us forget, don't let it be like the blacks are only the one who are overflogging this racism issue. Racism is far more than the black players alone. Even in EPL, we saw how much they boo or they abuse his son. That's the Tottenham player.
Chinese,
even the Chinese, the Korean player.
player.
Even when he's a white, we know how much they abuse him in the EPL. About Vinicius, at the point in his career when he first joined Real Madrid, he was actually controlling it. He was actually controlling that boo, when they boo him, when they talk, when they abuse him. But I don't want to say probably stardom, or though it's not really good when you abuse player, it affects them emotionally. But when you're showing it that it affects you emotionally, it then puts you in more trouble going into more games. Now they know how to frustrate Vinicius. Just abuse him, call him monkey, throw him banana. He will get frustrated. They will get into his head. That is one thing he's supposed to try and control himself. Don't allow the fans into your head. Racism is not today, and it might not end in football. As far as we have white and black playing, the abuses will always be there. So it's something that they have to live with. And how much they contain it is what we don't really know. That should be the problem. How much the league try to contain it. We saw what's it called, Dani Alves being thrown banana, and when he was thrown the banana, he picked it up, peeled it, and ate it. Samuel
That's also a risk.
Yes, Samuel
Eto'o,
he said it is healthy, and we all know banana is healthy.
What if it was poison?
Let's say
somebody that can be racist.
Okay, but thank God it wasn't poison that day. We saw it being thrown at Samuel Eto'o, who picked it up and ate it up and scored a goal. We saw how much it affected. Okay, when we're not talking about players who reacted back angrily, we saw how much it affected people like Balotelli's career. When he was abused, even Lukaku in Italian Serie A, when he scored a goal and he was being booed, he went over to the Juventus fans, and I think he got a red card that day for talking back at the fans. So when you're a black player, just accept. I think there should be a
that was a good chance for Brighton right there.
It's really a bad thing. It's really a bad thing, but let's see how much La Liga can actually come to Vinicius' defense.
But you know that football is an intense game.
Yeah.
And when you are tensed, history has shown that even one of the most calm players in the world, Lionel Messi, can react.
Is Lionel Messi calm?
Leo is very calm. Starting his career, how many red cards did you see, Leo?
It's not really about red card.
And Leo will...
Wow. That should be... That was a great
That was well saved by Ortega.
Yeah.
So, looking at it, when you are tense, there was a time Messi was this quiet.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk much, just do his business.
He
got to a stage, it started getting to him.
That's the problem about
this Vinicius racial abuse has been on for a while. Before it's
at the point when they're abusing him, he looks unbothered. He even tried to gimmick back at the fans. But now he's getting bothered. The emotions is coming in. Probably as he is aging. Although it's always bad, because I look at Valencia players, because they have black players on that team. Yes, how do you want your black players to feel if you're actually calling another black player on the opponent's team?
And that's terrible.
Monkey. It's terrible. Nobody should be going through racism. But it is what it is. It happens right now.
So what do you think?
The time.
I think 40-something thousand euros fine on Valencia, and the partial closure of 500
that won't stop it. That won't stop it.
But that can we are in
a league that is technology savvy.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that they don't know.
They've arrested
it's not Africa where we don't have data of people in the stadium.
Yeah.
Right there in La Liga, they have the data. They know the focus of everybody on that pitch. They're actually using 5D cameras. So if they want to get facial, everybody face there, they will get it. Yeah, if that can't work, or if that can't propel teams to actually stop racism. Another good one is like the one we do in Nigerian Premier League. Deduct 3 points. When you deduct teams for although there will be problem in that, because you have opposition team in your stands, and you don't know if they are opposition or they are your own fans. So and if not to destroy it, they just start shouting racist law. When they know that it will get you 3-point deduction. let's see what FIFA is going to do, because we know there's so many problem in football, and we have to accept that it's not just football alone, it's everywhere.
Yeah,
Even in organization, even in other sports, it happens. So it's something we just have to live with, and pending the time we'll get a solution for it.
But do you think a solution can be gotten? Because, you know, when you have a group of different clients coming together in one game, these things are inevitable.
It's inevitable. That's what I'm trying to say. They can only minimize it. I don't really expect more.
Oh, that's a
beautiful goal. Wow!
You know, we just spoke
that's
about
the player he's never scared of taking those outside shots. I can't count how many times he has done this kind of dangerous strike. That is the beauty of
it. You need to see that he took the shot from about 28 meters outside the box 18 and he's to the left-hand corner of
I think by next season when he actually grows into the team, probably we'll start seeing big teams coming in to get coming out for him. It reminds me of James Rodriguez when he was still
and
young.
Oscar too.
Oscar when they were young and coming in. This is a fantastic player. Wow.
He has the vision. I like that vision to shoot.
That is a beautiful goal. I was about saying, who is taking this shot? Who is taking this shot? Who is taking this shot?
Look at the move again.
Look at the move.
Got the ball, draw one touch, picked his corner. The decision was accurate. Picked his corner, put the ball there. He scored one like this against Chelsea.
He scored one against Chelsea.
He scored one against the keeper.
There's no goalkeeper. Even if it is David De Gea,
that's well structured.
Even if it is David De Gea, no keeper is.
Bring Manuel Neuer.
Wow.
It's a support to luck.
This is what I like about players who you can't actually predict what.
And the three of them actually, Stupinan, Casado, and
South
American. You know, one thing I miss in football is that entertaining aspect. You know, football for me now is very straightforward. We don't have that Ronaldo, somebody draw the ball, 2-leg over, a little chip, a little dance. You understand all those things. Vinicius is trying, but it's not like those days. What do you think changed?
Vinicius is actually trying. Like you said, things actually changed. But I think in what's it called, in Italy, in La Liga, we still have those players who plays with flair. Who can actually play with the ball at their feet. But when you look at this like EPL, never really. The last time we had a player that has flair in his feet might actually be someone like Austin JJ Okocha. After that, we've not really seen that. The world is actually moving. We are moving away from where we have players who play with flair. Skill was the order of the day. Yeah. Right now, we're having players who are actually interested in scoring more goals. Direct goals. Goals is what give you what's it called? What footballer of the year right now.
Oh, so that's a good move for them. Oh, that final pass was very bad. Just straight to the goalkeeper, just like a back pass. That's a silly
actually in the first minute. Let's see how much Nigeria can actually contain this team.
It seems Bernardo Silva is angry at Enciso for scoring that goal. Look at the tackle.
I think clubs actually need to start going to South America to get.
They do go to, but it depends on your links.
They look at it that they are raw. They are raw. So they look how much they will actually have to before they can refine them. Those are things they actually look at. Because you look at this Manchester City, they have Julian Alvarez, who they got from the Argentine league. And he's their second highest scorer behind Alan this season. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Almost 20 goal difference.
His first season in EPL. And he actually lit it up.
There are some players like that they come to lit up the Premier League.
Yeah.
And the next season, they are nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to fail.
Do you think this guy is a one-season
No. Enciso doesn't strike me as a one-season wonder. Because, one, he's not a player that he's not a go-to player for goals every week.
Every now and then.
He just gets his goals once in a while. But you look at his work rate. Work rate is something that can never go down in a footballer. Only when he ages. That is one thing about him. He might not be among the goal, but that work rate will always be there for him.
Oh, that was a good
I think this game is actually lighting up. We're actually seeing a beautiful game of football between Manchester City and Brighton. Arsenal fans will be asking themselves, had they been within bottle this league, maybe
would have
maybe
been hope.
Brighton will have been giving them hope right now that, oh, we can actually do something good against, or might actually be getting a victory.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's the 83rd minute in the game between Italy and Nigeria. And it's Nigeria surprisingly leading a goal to nil, actually. And the 88th minute.
And this victory is actually going to mean a lot to the Nigerian boys.
Funny
It's going to
enough,
mean a lot to their confidence.
Senegal just equalized.
Who is Senegal playing?
Senegal is playing Israel.
They've not, even Senegal, they are not really the Senegal in this competition, because I think their first game also ended in a draw or a loss. They lost or they drew their first game.
I love that block from that defender, because if that guy had gotten into the dangerous area, it would have been something else. We are enjoying the game so far.
Yeah,
Brighton
both games are actually
they are
living up to expectation.
this game is living up to expectation, but Nigeria is not living up to expectation.
Oh, it's actually
Because the expectation was for Italy to win. We have to be realistic. So it's not... Nigeria actually have 5 board. And
they've done beyond expectation.
Honestly, beyond
they've done
expectation,
beyond
yes.
Bookie's expectation.
Yeah.
I never give them this game. Coming into this game.
There's the second goal for Brighton. But an offside flag. And Italy is on the counter. What can they do? They play the shot. Oh! That was a good attempt.
That was so close.
That was so close. We just pray it's always so close.
These are chances
to the end of the match, and Nigeria can just
and these are the kind of chances
that's just offside.
These are the kind of chances that at the end of the game they'll come back and look at it like we should be scoring.
But I think if it goes towards the goalpost, the keeper really covered well.
Well, is it
to
covered?
Make a save. And let's quickly check the lineup of both the teams, Italy and Nigeria. It's the 85th minute of the game. Italy have a corner kick. And let's see. Oh, that was well blocked. Oh, the shot struck.
I think Nigeria are actually putting all their body on the line
and,
right now.
The Nigerian player is
Oh,
my
that was so
goodness.
close. You see, this is a beautiful game of football from both ends, from end to end. We are actually seeing good attacking flair of football.
You know, attacking football will keep you at the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
You feel interested.
Wow,
look at that header. The shot struck the Nigerian player on the face and is down the number 12.
We know how painful it is when a shot hits you.
It's brain.
We all played football when we were younger.
Face.
Even to think our own football was what's it called, health football.
Health football.
And we know how much it sounds in our head when we
and the name of the player is Frederick. Frederick. And
hopefully he'll get back on his feet and play the remaining 5 or 7 more minutes we have in this game.
You know, the formation Italy started with, some will call it 4-4-2, some will call it, modern day, we call it 4-1-2-1-2. Wow. You know, 4-4-2. They say 4-1-2-1-2. And in goal is Desplank, and left wing back Giovanni, Guarino and Ghilardi. In the central, Zanotti, right back. Defensive midfield role, Faticanti, then Casade.
Yeah, Casade.
Casade, the Chelsea player.
He's actually their captain.
And Prati in the midfield. And Bardani in the number 8 position, leaving Ambrosino and Pafudi up front. And for Nigeria played a 4-3-3 formation with Aniagbo in goal, Agbalaka at the left wing back, at the left back, Oguche and Frederick, both centre back pairing, and Bamayi right wing back.
Yeah, I think Bama is actually one player who hasn't actually, although shy, he really tried in the first leg, but he hasn't lived up to expectation. We saw him at the Waffle and the under-20, how good he is. That's a player I really want to see get into this competition proper. No, this is the problem.
Oh my
He should be scoring this. He should be scoring this. How many chances will Danny Welbeck lose before he scores one?
And if you notice something,
And that is okay. This is Doga.
if you notice something, you notice that it's like Nigeria is just trying to kill off the tempo of the game.
That's it. It's just for 5 more minutes or 3 more minutes to go. You do whatever you can do to just kill the game. This 3 points in this game is a massive one for
Massive
Nigeria.
one. That's
Going into the
automatic
game
qualification.
Going into the game against Brazil, we know anything can happen against
Yeah.
Brazil. But that Brazil team is a team I don't really expect much to happen against Nigeria. If we play this good against Italy, then I expect
we can do better.
we might actually get a draw in that Brazil game.
And the defensive midfielder for Nigeria is Daga, leaving Lawal and Eletu
Eletu, the
in front,
AC Milan, the
attacking
young AC Milan
midfielder, attacking midfielder.
This is a chance for Nigeria.
That's
Let's see.
What can they do with it?
No,
Oh, that was.
No.
Would that be a shot for
It's
penalty?
not a shot for a penalty. He got to the ball first.
That can lead to a
The
counter.
goalkeeper
But that
got to the
was
ball
well.
first.
Honestly, these guys played well today. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. It's not the conventional way Nigeria they will attack. Nigeria is actually taking the game to them.
Yeah, they're actually taking the game to them. This shows more experience than what we saw in the other 17. What's it called?
Yeah.
17 Nations Cup.
Nations Cup,
We actually have a good squad there, but the boys didn't actually live up to
And there's a
expectation.
shout that these guys are academy players.
Yeah, they actually most of them are
agent players.
Well,
They're playing the academy. You know, there's always a structure that should come with football growth. Because
But we've always known that most of our under 20 mostly are always gotten from what's it called, grassroots football, except for probably some that we get from from foreign clubs. I think what happened is majorly we know how much. It's not something I should be saying on air, but it just happened. It just happened that way.
it happens that way. Let's just leave it like that.
Let's just leave it that way.
You know, it is Muhammad on the right and Jude on the left of the attack, leaving Salem Fago that have been withdrawn from this game. I think that should be a penalty.
He got to the ball first.
He got the ball
first.
Okay.
He got the ball first. Not the leg.
So Salem Fago scored the goal and he has been withdrawn from the game. And
Is that not 8 minutes?
is 8 minutes additional time.
Who died?
I don't know.
that's quite much in a game of football. Like, we didn't really see much of VAR intervention in this game for us to be having 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
But let's see how much the boys can actually hold on to it. Probably might even get a second goal against the run of play.
As long as you see, they are very calm. The way they are playing, they are very calm.
Yeah, they know they own.
And I know Ladan Boso will be a happy man.
Yeah, he'll be a happy man because left to me, I don't really have much hope in Ladan Boso since the 2007 Under 20 World Cup, the one he went for in Canada, and unfortunately we got to the second round, Nigeria versus Chile.
Yes.
At 90 minutes, that game was 0-0. We got into the extra time and we considered 4 goals.
Terrible.
It was so terrible.
Game management.
It was a terrible game. And that was
That should be a foul.
I think that was the beginning of players like Alexis Sanchez. Yeah, that competition actually bet.
I'm beginning to sense some officiating scrabble here. Honestly, look at that tackle on
the ref knows better. He knows what he saw there because we are not on the pitch.
But we actually do know that referees do make mistakes, costly ones.
Yeah, it's human to make mistakes.
And it's halftime in the game between Brighton and Man City. It ended in the first half, 1 goal apiece. You know, it's still a long second half to come. We have been entertained so far. If you are just joining us, Phil Foden drew the first blood. And you know, Phil Foden is the English international.
Wow, this should be the second goal.
That's a counter.
We're taking this chance. It should be our second goal.
Return the pass. Nigeria on the counter. That was a terrible final pass.
Wasteful. That was wasteful. It shows how much experience these players are actually lacking. Although it's under 20, so
Phil Foden drew the first blood and the 25th minute, and Enciso scored a screamer.
We should be scoring this. We should be scoring
That would be
this.
an
He should have been getting his
If not for that defender, it would have been an offside. And Sister scored a screamer. Oh, that is a worthy goal to equalize the champions.
Well, it's one of SCCO kind of goals. We've seen him not once, not twice this season, getting the screamer.
And Welbeck, a goal disallowed.
They should be, apart from the goal disallowed, I think Welbeck has actually been their weak link. It goes on to tell why Ferguson has actually been benching him this season. Yeah. Because you look at Ferguson, that's a 20 or 21-year-old player, but he takes his chances. And
that's it.
This is not the first time we're talking about Danny Welbeck having to lose 4 chances before scoring 1.
No, Nigeria is playing 5 men behind the ball. I think it should be more because of counter. These guys
I don't really see anything happening in this game anymore. It's a done and dusted game.
Oh, there are 3 minutes out of the 8 minutes has been played, leaving 5 minutes additional time left. And you know, as we have told you, our viewers earlier in previous edition of the show, that whenever you see 8 minutes additional time, it simply means at least 8 minutes. What is the keeper coming to do right there?
He's under 20.
That answers the question.
Some errors are actually allowed. It's an age-grade football. It's not a full professional football. So some kind of errors are actually allowed. I think that should be a chance for Nigeria. Is that the second goal?
No!
That is the second goal for Nigeria. I'm sure they actually gave Nigeria this chance. Scoring 2 goals against Italy. We didn't really see much of Pafudi. We didn't really see much of this Italian threat up front.
Yeah.
Is it showing that Brazil are actually not? Is Brazil the problem in the first game?
It's just football sometimes.
Okay, yeah, it's football sometimes.
Sometimes your strategy, you might get it wrong. Go down 3-0, you can't come back.
Wow, that was a long ball. And these are the kind of chances. These are the kind of chances. I'm sure Welbeck will have lost this.
You know, stamina.
Welbeck will lose this. He will surely lose this.
Oh, that's a beauty. Wow. Now, I think this game is a Sokpotilo case for Italy. They should go and regroup and go and face Dominican Republic.
Yeah, that should be a rubber tie for them. I expect them to take it. Having 3 points first in the first game is actually a good one for them.
Yes.
Getting 3 more points will be 6 points, and it should be enough to send them to the second round. Brazil will be coming, I think at the end of the day, what we might be seeing in this group might be everybody on 6 points. If possible, will be Brazil 6 points, because I expect Brazil to actually defeat Dominican Republic this night. If Brazil should get that 3 points, and Brazil will be coming into the game against Nigeria to try and get 3 points. If the 3 teams are on 6 points, then one is going to qualify as best loser from the group to the round of 16. But I think it will do us more favor if we actually make it out of this group as group leaders, because we'll be getting one of the 3rd place team.
Oh, that was a close one for Italy.
That was a good reflex from the goalkeeper. That was a reflex save. Wow. We do have a lot of talent. Our problem is just man management. How much we manage these players. Don't forget we have this young player at Inter Milan, who is also supposed to be part of this squad. What's his name?
That was sold from Remo Stars.
From Remo Stars, yes. He was supposed to be part of this team, but Inter said they were going to release him just 1 week before the competition. And Landa Bosso rejected that offer. He said no. If he's coming for just 1 week before the competition, there's no way he's going to make it to the squad. But we've seen how good L2 is in this midfield, how much compactness he brought into this game. He didn't start against Dominican Republic. He actually came in the second half. But he started this game. We've seen how good he is, and that shows when you are being trained by big teams. It actually shows in your play.
Yeah, it shows. It really shows actually. And it's the 97th minute of the game between. Brighton has had 2 goals cancelled.
Yeah, 2 goals cancelled. I just remember now because when seeing this Mitoma goal, that Mitoma goal was cancelled. What's it called?
But that was a poor goalkeeping.
Yeah, that was a poor goalkeeping. You can't really blame Ortega. He hasn't really been the starter at Manchester City, but he's a worthy second choice goalkeeper for Manchester City. He's a good deputy goalkeeper on his own day for Ederson. And
the game between Senegal and Israel is still 1-1. at the 95th minute.
Senegal not really living up to expectation. I would like to see their last result, the result they played in their first game, but I know they are not really living up to expectation. Unexpectedly, it's Gambia that's actually living up to expectation again for Africa.
Yeah, and you know, the way they went about winning their game.
This should be the third goal for Nigeria. No, we didn't get that. That was a good goalkeeping from the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
he actually made himself big there. That was a good one for him. I think this should be about it in this game. 4 more seconds to go, and 2-0 is a big victory for Nigeria, a very big one for Nigeria.
And I think Senegal lost
the first game. They lost the first game against.
They lost it 1-0.
Yeah. Remember they lost the first game, so they actually need a victory very soon.
They lost against Japan.
Japan, yeah.
A 0-0. They actually need this game to at least think of progressing, because there are chances for getting one against Colombia.
And that is the final result of the game.
And the game between
Nigeria
Italy and Nigeria just came to an end. Nigeria winning 2-0. Some Yoruba will say what's going on the car.
I have to give them a clap.
No. They deserve
I did actually come in here giving Nigeria any chance of winning.
Even me too, I have to be honest.
When I was at home, I was like, no, this game is going Italy weak. But
you know, they won in a very sweet manner. You play very well and you win. Not that you were lucky. They played very well and they got their goals. Good
one for Landa Boso, good one for the lads. They can go into the game against Brazil, relax, not playing under pressure. There's no chance. They're not going to that game with a calculator trying to get how many goals do we need before getting before qualifying for the second round. Right now, they are putting themselves in the driving position in this group. I never gave them the chance. Most of Nigerian pundits didn't actually give them the chance coming into this game and getting the 2-0 against round of play. But you can't predict Nigeria. Good one for the boys.
And do you think Nigerian fans should start dreaming of the title?
Well, France, I saw France first game. They were not really looking like that France. I think I'm even really more scared of England in this competition
than France.
Yes, than France. When you look at the English squad, is actually a team that came here with a lot of talented young players. And when it comes to age grade football, you can't actually write off England. The France team, they didn't really look like the France team when I watched the first game. Probably they can be like the Nigerian team. They grow into the competition as it goes.
And we are going to go for a very not so long break. And when we come back, it will be the second half of the game between Brighton
and
Manchester City. You don't want to go nowhere. Sit back, relax, and just stick with us. It's going to be an entertaining evening of football. I hope you've been entertained for the first half of the show. We are coming back stronger and better and more accurate and articulate for the other half of the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. Once I just go to my this. I want to say Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. We're not talking about the starting 11. Now we have 2 starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's not about 2. Let my 2 until they come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next season. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Ekbenwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Ekbenwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
There are two chances, just as you said. Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball that you could have scored. At least you could have given, even if you didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 30 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Yeah. Okay. Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. Once I just go to my this account to say Chelsea has so many substitutes, bench win matches. We're not talking about the starting 11. Now we have two starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's all about two. Let my two and three come back. Anybody can.
Yeah, you're welcome back, our fans. We just went for a short breather there, and the second half between the game and the second half between Brighton and Manchester City is the 51st minute of the second half of the game. And Brighton and Man City is still 1-1. You know, surprisingly, many would have thought by now Brighton would have been down like 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah, if it was when Manchester City were still in pursuit of of the league. But this game, you can see that they are actually playing they are playing it with caution because they know how much game they have at hand. They still have they still have Brentford on the last day of the league coming up this weekend. They have they have Manchester United next week. Is it after the Champions League or before the Champions League?
Before
the FA Cup final against Manchester United next week. Will be the last. And they have the Champions League coming up, that big one against Inter Milan. So they are trying not to overuse the players in unnecessary games because they have nothing to lose, they have nothing to gain in the remaining games. But even the game against Brentford, I don't really expect them coming into that game with most of their top stars starting that game. Yes, but when you look at it too, playing form. Yeah, these are players that have actually played over 30 games this season. So I don't expect the ones they played before. Because even if they are not playing against this SCCO going out for McAllister, this might just be one of the last games of McAllister in the Brighton jersey. Yes. So talking about match fitness, they have Manchester United next week. There are some players I'm sure Pep Guardiola wants to point out going into that game because he needs a lot of his stars that day because a lot of things are tied to that Manchester United game. Manchester United will be coming with their A game because they will still want to continue being the only team in England that has won the treble. I don't want to lose that bragging right to their neighbors. Yeah, their so-called noisy neighbors. So they want to lose that bragging right to them. You know what Ten Hag said after the semi-final? He said he will do all he can.
I like the word
I
it
don't see-
can,
I don't see
but
anything-
there are
I
some
don't
things
see-
that
I
can
don't
be
see-
out of your hands.
I don't see anything he's doing in that game because I'm sure Pep Guardiola will look at that second leg, that return leg he lost. Was it 1-0?
Controversial result.
That game he lost against Manchester United in the return leg. He'll be coming into this FA Cup to defeat Manchester United, beat them massacrely.
And this,
But it's surely going to be a massacre that day.
and you know Guardiola as a coach that likes to take pound of flesh.
Yeah.
When
I'm
you
talking about
defeat him, he
Manchester
comes
United.
back.
I'm talking about Manchester United. Your team is playing them next tomorrow.
Yeah,
Wow.
your team. I'm a neutral, yeah.
Okay.
So, it's the 54th minute of the game between Brighton and Man City, and it's still 1 goal apiece. Betis Etafe just started 12 minutes into the game. Espanyol versus Atletico Madrid also 13 minutes into the game. We know that Atletico Madrid will be going all out to at least get a win to go back to second.
Yeah, I think second position might just be the fight they're actually having against Real Madrid right now. It's going to be bragging right till they finish ahead of Real Madrid on the league. You know, they are local rivals. So when they finish second, at least they can have something to brag against Real Madrid that we finished ahead of you this season. But as it's looking, well, Atletico Madrid, they've been scoring a lot of goals since January. January, they've been scoring a lot of goals. That is unlike the Atletico Madrid team we all know.
Yeah.
And some are even putting it on the attributes of, what's it called, leaving the team, João Felix. Leaving the team is why they're actually scoring a lot of goals. So that's another thing they would try to see going towards the end of the season. They're playing Cadiz, if I'm right, today.
Yeah, Espanyol.
Espanyol. That can actually be a tough tie for them because Espanyol are actually in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
In the relegation water, so it's going to be an explosive game of football.
And a quick update about the games that has ended. Nigeria won 2-0 unexpectedly though, but Nigeria won
it's a game of
and
football.
they deserved to win. They
Yeah,
played
they
very
deservedly
well.
won. They deservedly won the
They
game.
took the games to the cleaners and they took their chances very well. Spot on, a good one. Real Madrid won 2-1. H.A. Sevilla ended 1-1. And Villarreal Cadiz ended 2-0. And here right now is the 56th minute of the game between
Not
Brighton
really much in
and
the
Man
second half
City.
game. It's looking like a drabbing game. Both of them have not really gone into this game like we saw in the first half. It's looking like the opposite of what we saw in the first half. We really need both of them to lighten up this game and give the fans something to cheer about in the second half.
I just see them so far playing like, those pigeons we call no be miss spoiler.
There's
Trying
nothing
to be
to
cautious.
lose actually in this game. No. That was a wrong pass. You should have timed the run of that.
Held the ball a
actually
little
moving
bit.
through the middle.
And so far, the game too is not that bad.
Not really bad. They're actually playing with. I don't know why they're playing caution football because I don't really want to call it caution football. That was a nice attack. Wow, that was a nice shot from Brighton there.
Oh, that was
That was
good.
a good save from Ortega
Ortega.
actually.
And set the ball, set the pass, block shot.
Wow,
It was a loose ball.
it was a loose ball. Yes.
Ah. Oh,
I think Brighton should actually be looking into bringing UDF into this game. That's one of the striker that can actually do something for them in this game.
you went under.
Under Via.
Yes.
Another player that can actually do something in this game. Ferguson is already in. Probably they. Did he start this game?
Ferguson, I don't think he started. It was.
These are the kind of position you actually miss and CC because that would have been a shot on target if not going into the net. We've not really seen
He has
much
been
of.
withdrawn.
We've not really seen
I
much
think
of.
he had a knock.
We've not really seen much of Mitoma in this game. But we have to forgive him because we know how strong the person is challenging. That talking about no, you should be getting this. Talking about Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is someone who actually held on to Vinicius both home and away against Real Madrid.
Kept him in his
He kept him in his pocket against all odds because we saw how much we know how handful Vinicius can be against any right back on his day. We saw him destroyed the Liverpool Arnold and on Trent. We
Yes.
saw how much he destroyed him. We saw him against Chelsea very own with James, just in the quarterfinal.
Yes.
We saw how much he contained on Reece James. And coming up against Kyle Walker, it shows experience is still one of those things in football. Because we saw how good Kyle Walker was against Vinicius in that game.
And Alvarez just came in.
Yeah, Alvarez just came into the game. That is, he's replacing Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
That is one beautiful thing about Pep Guardiola. The way he just uses players anyhow. That means okay.
That's why you know that Pep Guardiola doesn't buy all the players. There are specific kind of players he buys. So
Yeah.
players that are flexible, that can play different.
A different role.
Yeah.
You see this Lewis playing left back today. We saw Lewis against Aspilicueta
Yeah.
the other day and just took that man to cleanser. I was just like, wow. Not this young boy just disgracing or mopping Aspilicueta everywhere around the pitch. And today he's playing left back.
And you know Lewis is one of the reasons Cancelo had to leave.
Well, that boy is actually a good player. No doubt Cancelo too was a fantastic player. I don't really know what really happened with Cancelo this season. He's not looking like the Cancelo that we used to know in the EPL, the one that came to the EPL and was getting those assists and goals for Manchester City. All of a sudden, he just went down. And he got himself a loan to Bayern Munich, where things are not really panning out the way they expected for him also there.
Even for Bayern.
Yeah.
He joined them and it looks like Bayern is going to lose their birthright trophy.
I think that's a game that will even really interest everybody on Saturday. Bayern Munich going to that last game and knowing that Dortmund will be at home against Mainz.
Their home has been a slaughter ground.
It has been a slaughter ground, but my problem with Dortmund is I hope they won't flop it. Because they know how to bottle. They are just like Arsenal brothers. They know how to bottle it.
Why would you call them Arsenal? How related are they to Arsenal?
Because that's one thing about them.
What is the joining cord? The link.
That is what I'm saying, that they can bottle it when you
Are you saying they are both unreliable?
Arsenal is unreliable. I've been saying it right from even
our Arsenal viewers, if there's anybody you want to go out for, his name is Shego.
Even right from the first, even right from when Arsenal was tipped above the table, I've always said that this team is not looking like a team that will actually win.
Because of depth.
Yeah.
They lack depth. And if you will blame their Premier League woe.
This game is looking like a game that might just be ending this 1-1. Yeah. It's getting boring already.
If you will say, oh, let me look at Arsenal's season. And what can I blame?
Well, the only person I'm going to blame for this issue they have this season is Arteta himself, because I guess the big teams, probably let's remove Chelsea away from it. I guess the big teams, it came into those games playing on the back front, playing defensive game against the big teams. But it takes me back to this priority when they come into the season. That's why I do say that Arsenal really overachieved their priorities. Coming into the season, and probably Arsenal came into the season trying to qualify for the Champions League, because I saw the objectives they gave to him going into the 2020-2021 season. The objectives was just find yourself, just finish in top 4. Winning the Premier League was never one of the objectives they've given to Mikel Arteta.
You mean 2020,
yes,
2023?
2020/2021 or 2022. We're in 2022-23.
Yes.
21-22 season. They gave. I saw the objectives like just finish in the top 4. Probably that was what they came into again in this season. Find yourself in the top 4. They got that, and all of a sudden they were topping the league, and the momentum was there coming in. The belief was there that we can actually win this league. But unfortunately, they had the Manchester City riding on their back. It shows 8 points is not when you have Manchester City. By the time we saw how much Manchester City were getting those wins, 13 straight unbeaten, 13 straight win. It's not for child.
And if you look at it, really you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
And there's a limit to everything. When you stretch them, don't you think? And a quick update, Atletico Madrid just scored a goal. in the 21st minute against Espanyol.
It looked like a game
So,
where we've seen a lot of goals again.
If VAR doesn't do what it knows to do best, Atletico Madrid.
I think that when you look at this
We're
Atletico Madrid
leading.
team this season, you have to look at the experienced player they got. They got Memphis Depay from Barcelona.
Barcelona.
This is a player that knows how to score goals. This is a player that
And
knows
they
how
sold
to
too.
assist. They
They
sold
sold
players, yeah.
Kunha to Wolves
Wow.
and Felix on
Felix
loan
went
to
on to Chelsea. It's not looking like Felix will be going back to Atletico
Yeah, he
Madrid
doesn't
anytime
want to
soon.
go back actually.
Because you look at teams like Newcastle, they actually have the money to spend right now. They're going into the Champions League next season. So
Yeah, they will.
they'll be looking at getting some world-class player. And I saw Eddie talk about it that yes, right now
Big
we
signing.
have the money to make big signing. They have the Champions League which they can use.
They had the money before.
They had the money, but you know FFP was always going to cap on them.
Yes.
But now they've gotten the Champions League qualification, whereby they will have a bit relaxed. They can spend a lot of money now. They'll be looking at getting what's it called, Felix, probably for 80 million. They have the money, they can pay it. And there's Cristiano Ronaldo who always wants to come back. Don't forget, Newcastle is owned by Saudi Arabia people.
But they are the richest club in the world.
He can just come back to Newcastle because we know Ronaldo he still has the Champions League in his sights that he wants to play in it in the Champions League, and he has a lot of undoing he wants to do to Manchester United. So he surely wants to come back to the EPL to show Manchester United that he still has it in him. We know how he left Manchester United, not the ceremonious way Ronaldo wants to leave. So a lot of things to see. I think the transfer window will surely be an interesting season to see. Because we have a lot of clubs. Chelsea will also be looking at selling a lot of players. I think about 10 to 12 players will have to leave Chelsea this season. And we see Manchester United who are actually, there's rumor that they are interested in getting Mason Mount for around 55 million
Chelsea is
pounds.
insisting on 80 million.
On 80 million pounds. But I don't think they can get 80 million pounds for Mason Mount. This is a player going into the last year of his contract. And you're having a player who is forming a rebel. He's not interested in signing a new deal. So
there are other teams that want, there's a competition.
So right now is the time to actually, right now is actually the time to make money, cash in money. 50 million pounds for Miss Mount is actually a good one for Chelsea.
No, but I think Chelsea, the latest news I got today is Chelsea is looking at 80 million.
80 million.
Yeah.
He will just roll down. He will roll down his contract.
Not only Liverpool wants him.
Liverpool won't pay. Liverpool won't pay 80 million.
The thing is, you know, when you have a competition.
Yeah,
between
it drives money up. But you know, at the end of the day, it boils down to the players, where the player actually wants to go. So
but at the same time, Chelsea can decide to sell.
Manchester United won't go to 80 million. You look at the clubs who are coming in for him. Manchester United won't go to 80 million for him. Liverpool won't even spend.
There are still other teams that will.
Liverpool won't even spend 80 million. Bayern Munich won't spend 80 million getting Mason Mount. That is it. So Chelsea should be looking around 55 to 60 million pounds for him. It's a good deal. It's a good deal for Chelsea because they have Nkunku who is coming in at the end of the season. They have there's the possibility that Felix might actually be staying too. I really want to go down into that issue. Mason Mount is having with Chelsea. I really want to know the behind the scenes. It's looking like it's more. There's more to that issue than what we are seeing in the press.
I think is the unclear future of Chelsea.
Wow. But he's a Chelsea fan. He's a Chelsea fan. He's a player that started playing for Chelsea at the age of 6. So you shouldn't be saying that.
According to what came out, was that he was being skeptical. You know, with the way these new owners came, and they were like, you know, people that don't really know much about.
I'm sorry to say, then he's a coward.
No, it's not about coward.
The players.
No. You are sounding emotional.
It's not emotional. I'm not sounding emotional.
You know why I said that?
There's no I'm emotional.
I'm
not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Miss Mouse. That is it.
You know why I said that?
Yeah.
Because you can't say he's a coward because he's thinking about his future.
If he's being skeptical about Chelsea, that Chelsea might not actually make it big as
then
at the end of the day, the players are the one who plays on the pitch. These owners actually pumped in money into this club. They got good players. Spending 600 million pounds is in a transfer window to show you how much these people are interested in making this team big. So if he's being skeptical about that, then I think I'm very right in my word. He's a coward. then just let him go to wherever he
But
wants
if
to.
you say he's a coward, why do you think he's a coward?
Because he can't be skeptical about it. You're leaving Chelsea to Manchester United. What are the chances of Manchester United?
He has
winning
not
the Premier
accepted
League?
Manchester
I'm
United
just
offer.
asking, what's the chances of Manchester United winning the Premier League? What's the chances of Liverpool winning the Premier League? Their chances are just good as Chelsea.
But you will agree with me
They
that
have
if you
the-
join
Chelsea have-
Liverpool, Liverpool is a better unit than Chelsea right now.
Wherever he likes.
They are stable.
You get me? Wherever he likes, he should go. Wherever he likes, he should go.
Wherever he likes, he should go. But I still think there's still more
This second
on
half,
the story.
This second half is
that will
really,
come
is
up.
really driving. This is not the kind of fun we had in the first half.
Yeah.
And the, what's it called? The Brighton midfield is looking like.
Oh, that's a
No,
counter.
that's a
Mitoma
counter. Mitoma.
slows
Let's
down
see
the
if he
game.
can. He slows down the game already.
And
Since Esisio left this game, the Brighton midfield doesn't really be like the midfield.
his
we saw in the
vacuum has
first half.
been
Yes.
left open.
You can really see the space left in that team.
And back to the Arsenal discussion. You know, when you stretch a team over a marathon of football a season, you stretch the players to their limit, of which it was clear that those key players were stretched to their limit. Now, do you think,
Partey has always been an injury problem?
because for me,
And good, they got a player like Jorginho, so I
do you,
think they actually got.
Jorginho is not like for like, as far
He's
as
not like for like, but he's a player that can actually play defensive midfielder for Arsenal.
but he needs somebody to shock absorb for him. Because defensively, it's not
And don't
the
forget
best.
they'll be losing Shaka.
Yeah,
Shaka is
they
basically
are
a person,
losing,
so they have to
and they are
get-
going in for
They surely have to
Declan
get
Rice.
Declan Rice. Oh, £100 million.
And
they're also coming out for what's it called, Mason Mount also.
And you will now notice that this January transfer window, the board didn't really help them.
Well, there was not really much. I'm not really a fan of January transfer. I'm not really a fan of January transfer. I see it as panic buy. These are players that they actually come in middle of the season.
That is, you talk about panic buy if you are just trying to make top four, not when you are going for the league
Because I look
title.
at the January.
And you are comfortable.
January, mostly, probably because I'm a Chelsea fan. Most of January transfers I've always seen, they come into the team, take time before they can.
Van
they actually
Dijk is a
blend.
good
They
example
actually
of
blend.
blending.
They actually take time before they blend into the team.
This guy from Inter Milan to Tottenham,
Inter Milan to Tottenham.
yeah, Inter Milan to Tottenham that came with Conte. No, Juventus to Tottenham.
Kulusevski. Kulusevski.
Kulusevski.
And Ben Cabell.
Yes, no, Kulusevski especially was a good addition in January.
What?
So sometimes this business can go a long way. Because for me, if I will blame, I blame the board. Because those guys were stretched. They were stretched.
We'll see how much they go into the transfer window, because I know they'll be going to the transfer window well.
Of course.
Because they have a lot of games to play next season. They'll be
They
playing-
actually said
they'll be
they've
playing-
given Arteta license to break their
They'll
transfer.
be playing the Champions League next season. They'll be playing a lot of games next season.
Yeah.
I think Declan Rice will really be a good fit at Arsenal. Even Mason Mount will really be a good fit at Arsenal.
Yeah.
So, but let's just see how much. But Mason Mount going to Arsenal, it's going to look odd.
I don't think he
It's
will
going
want
to-
to
it's going to
betray
look odd.
betray
It's going to
the
look odd. It's going to look odd.
Chelsea faithfuls. I don't think
even if
he
he goes to Manchester United,
is a betrayer.
he's a betrayer.
But he can go to
Probably
Liverpool.
Chelsea don't really.
But
see
actually,
Liverpool
can
as-
go to Arsenal because Arsenal too has given us some quality players like Ashley Cole and
I'd rather give them Ruben Loftus-Cheek and
the
then get
worst
him
players.
Mount.
But you can get the best of them.
Okay, back to this game.
So
Where it's
the
77
72nd minute of the game between Fiorentina and Inter, Coppa Italia final. Inter leading 2-1.
Yes, I think it's-
Fiorentina drew the first blood. Gonzalo in the 3rd minute. And Lautaro Martinez scored a double, 29th minute
Wow.
and 37 minutes.
I think that will really do them a lot of good going into the game against what's it called? Against Manchester City. It hasn't really been the best of season for Inter Milan. I think they're outside the Champions League position right
They are
now.
in.
They are in right now, probably because of Juventus losing.
They're
their-
actually in, even without
Okay.
Juventus, they were 4th.
Well, so if they're actually going back to the Champions League next season, then it's a good one for them. Lautaro Martinez he has actually been their go-to man for goal, and he has been He has been reliable for them, getting them those goals this season. And you look at the front line. They have on Lautaro Martinez, Dzeko, and Lukaku. So one thing they are not really lacking is that point man up front. They are not lacking it. They have world-class players up front. Yes. So good one for them winning Coppa Italia. At least
they've not won yet.
No, they're probably going to take it. If they're going to take it, then it's a good one for them. At least they ended the season with a trophy after losing the league to Napoli, who mobbed all of them in the league.
They didn't lose the league actually. Napoli just took everybody to the cleaners. And even pounded their walls this weekend, defeating them 3 goals to 1.
Yeah.
And if you look at Inter season so far, it's not been bad.
It hasn't really been
Cup
bad.
final, Champions League final.
Their starting was actually bad.
That was why. They started very well, but towards getting close to the World Cup time, they started there. You know, there was a time they were pursuing Napoli neck in neck.
Because there was a time they were losing some games you really expect
they win at home, lose
away.
Yeah, and this season so far, because I stumbled on the news that it's like the hierarchy in Inter wants Simone Inzaghi to stay.
Yeah, he has to stay. I don't really see any reason why they will actually leave him. If they are sacking, if they want Inzaghi to leave, who are they going to get? Conte? That Conte is another journeyman coach. He won't stay. He
left there.
He won't stay. No, there's one thing about Conte. If Chelsea actually call Conte tomorrow that he should come and coach Chelsea, he will come back to Chelsea. He's a journeyman. He's ready to coach anything. Yeah. It's just like all this company people who are actually always ready to be on the move. Just to build their
like
city.
The evangelists in churches.
So he's a countryman. He's always ready to.
That goes everywhere. So
Inzaghi has done a good work for them. I think he should be staying. Taking them to the Champions League final is not something. It's not a thing of joke. He really tried for that team.
And even Coppa Italia.
Coming into the beginning of the season, I don't really think anybody actually gave them the chance of making it to the final of the Champions League. Right now, we've seen a substitution in the Brighton game. Welbeck is out for Undev. I think we called for this. We can also see Veltman.
Yeah, and it's still 1-1. 75
you know that we've really seen Undev in some of this game, and he has really lived up to expectation.
Yeah, doing that damage to Arsenal.
Seeing Ferguson up front and seeing Undev up front, that's a good substitution from Roberto Di Zerbi. This is another coach that actually has that squad depth. Yeah, you might look at the players; they are not big name players, but they are actually good players. They might not be world class, but they are fantastic players. He has on the bench. Yes.
Yeah. And it's the 76th minute of the game between Brighton and Man City. It's Brighton 1, Man City 1.
It's actually looking like a game where it's ending 1-1. Or you might just see one of those Alan masterclass.
Sometimes this kind of games,
happening in the 80s.
You just see the goal.
We've not really seen, apart from that assist he gave to Foden, not really seen much of Alan in this game.
And even De Zerbi will be an happy man with this.
Yeah, getting a draw against Manchester City, it's a good one for him. You can see Manchester City even playing a kind of football that they are not actually coming out that much.
Because they know if they come out too much, Brighton...
It might be a problem, it might be a problem for them.
And so far, so good. The substitutions that have happened so far in this game, Ferguson came in for Enciso, McAllister for Billy Gilmore. That's for Brighton.
Wow.
Veltman J for Bunanot and Undav for Danny Welbeck. And for Man City, Palmer
for Kevin De Bruyne
came in for Foden. And Alvarez came in for Kevin De Bruyne, who to me has played a lot of matches.
Wow, that was a beautiful shot from Estupiñán there.
That was a good one. The attempt was good.
Yeah, that was a beautiful take for me. I think he learned from Enciso, because these are the kind of shots Enciso takes.
It takes.
Wow,
But since we just
that was
have
a
more
great volley.
accuracy.
And that was almost going to the
That
net.
was so
Almost
close.
so close.
It was so close.
Like I said, it's looking like a game that might be ending 0-0. Only when we have an unlikely masterclass happening in this game. Apart from that, it might just be a game of 1-1.
Yeah, and it doesn't really
It's not really looking like a game where any of these teams want to score. They're actually playing it simple and playing it gentle, trying to contain each other, and it's a tactical brilliance game.
It's a game that will be won in the mind.
Yeah.
And it's the 37th minute of the game between Espanyol and Atletico.
It's still 1-0.
Atletico still leading 1-0. A goal scored by Niguez.
Niguez.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, the guy that came on loan to Chelsea.
He never really lived
He
up
came
to...
on sabbatical leave.
never really lived up to expectation. It was part of the Champions League winning squad, or which one?
I think so.
I think we have a goal in this game.
I think
we have a goal. So. We have a goal already in the Manchester City game. Yeah, we have a goal in the Manchester City
and
game.
Man City just took the lead. A goal
that
scored
was actually expected.
by the robot.
Because I just said that if a goal was going to come in this game, it has to be against the run of play, something masterclass from happening. I've not really seen much of Haaland. That's the kind of striker he is.
Erling Haaland again.
That's the kind of striker
doing what he knows how to do
best. Getting those goals. And that's a good one for him. That is the 36th, Abi? Right? 37th goal in the league. Wow. You might just be looking to get that.
That was a good cross.
That was a good cross. We saw him lose this type of nodding in the first half. In the first half, yes. I guess this Brentford, he lost something like that in the first half.
Brighton.
Yes, in the first half.
Yes.
He lost a good clear chance to score a goal like that.
Yeah.
What's Viral checking again? Is that offside?
You know, that's why when you are celebrating.
I don't really think there should be an offside here.
When you are celebrating.
Erling Haaland. That was a fantastic striker. Good one for Manchester City.
Sweet strike. And let's see what Vieira will do. At the 88th minute of the game. Vieira is checking it. Let's hope Vieira don't cut short their celebration.
Yeah, and the goal has been removed.
And the goal has been chopped
fouled by Haaland. I think there was a push. There was a push on the player there. Let's see. There was a push on the Brighton player. No, I can't really say. I can't really fathom why that was a foul there. Because I'm not really seeing much of a foul. Much of a touch there.
How?
I don't understand. I'm not really seeing much of a touch there. That shouldn't be going to the VAR. But, well, it's a game of football. We are used to that.
Yeah,
so
VAR.
it's back to 1-1.
You know, VAR knows how to cut
This is a
short
chance for
celebration.
Brighton right there. No. They should be scoring that. Mitoma should be scoring that. He has really dipped in
Keep
form.
losing goals.
Keep on losing glaring chances. These are chances they should be scoring. These are chances when you score, the big teams will actually look at you and say, oh, this is a good player we should be spending our money on. But when you're losing glaring chances like this, you're actually demarketing yourself, which is not really good for players like him.
And for the bookies, surprise of the day, Albion beating Celtic 4-2.
I think the league is done and dusted there.
Yeah, they've won.
So this is around the time of the season where you start seeing some kind of goals you won't expect to see.
That's just equalized Rangers too. For the bookies.
So I think we have Celtic home and dry in that league.
Yeah, they've won already. They've won the league already. And it's the 82nd minute of the game.
I think
between
I'm actually feeling like Celtic might actually Celtic Rangers should actually be looking at getting Steven Gerrard back. He actually did a good job with them when he was their coach. Probably both of them are actually meant to be together. No, that he took one too many shots there. That's on there. He should be scoring that.
And it's the 83rd minute of the game between Fiorentina and Inter. Inter leading 2-1. On that, Gerrard, what will you rate? What will you rate his performance at Aston Villa?
Well, I'll rate it 50 out of 100 because we saw his first season at Aston Villa. It was actually great, and his second season, then the problems started coming in at Aston Villa. But you know what? You know the good work. What's it called? Unai Emery actually did there. Actually make it look like Steve Gerrard was a bad coach.
Yeah.
I won't say he's a bad coach. He was a better coach than now Frank Lampard. We saw the good work he did at Rangers. He came into Aston Villa. Then it's one of those training that coaches actually go through.
Step by step.
Yeah, step by step. I actually want to see Steve Gerrard come back into the game.
Even
He's actually a tactical, better coach than Frank Lampard.
It seems Guardiola is frustrated there. Because even
that goes last too. They shouldn't have checked off that goal. I don't really see anything much. Okay, let's see it here. That's Alan and Colby. Let's see. Okay. There was a pulling there. There was a pulling of the shirts there.
That's a foul.
What does he call me? Colby has really kept on Alan.
Yes.
He has really kept
him
at bay in this game. And that's a young player. He's actually a Chelsea player.
Chelsea is looking at.
I think he's one of the players that was actually great for the Todd Boyd didn't sell. Because it was around the same time when we sold Gilmore
to them.
To Brighton.
But they didn't want to accept Gilmore on loan actually.
Yeah, no, even Gilmore himself didn't want to go on loan. He said he wanted to leave Chelsea. Even Colby was interested in leaving Chelsea outrightly. But he knows he has a big future at Chelsea. And we've just seen a substitution, that is Bernardo, coming out for Calvin Phillips. I think Calvin Phillips is one player that might actually be
it's double substitution.
He's a player that will likely be looking at leaving, Manchester City at the end of the season. He hasn't really gotten much playing time at that team, thanks to the good form of Rodri and Stones, who both play.
Calvin Phillips just came this summer.
Yeah, he came in this summer, but he hasn't really played much.
He can't be thinking of, because one thing you notice about
he's an English international.
Yes. Do you
notice when the playing chances are not coming? You'll be looking like to leave the team.
Look at Grealish last season. You saw that he wasn't really in the team like that.
But he played more than what. Do you know what it takes to have a makeshift central back playing as a defensive midfielder when you have a fully fit defensive midfielder on the bench? So it shows that the coach is not really he doesn't really have that much confidence.
Maybe he has not really sink into the pattern.
After the Euros, I remember Pep saying that he came back too big and lazy, overweight, just the way Hazard actually had his own to at Real Madrid then. So he came in overweight, but he's a fantastic player. He's one player I actually call the pillow of England, because Calvin Phillips is a fantastic player. So I really want to see him back on the pitch, on the field of play, doing what he knows how to do best every week.
In fact, I call him a box-to-box midfielder. He can mark the whole field. His energy level is crazy.
We're currently in the 6th minute. And it's looking like
even Stokes.
Be looking at wow.
Look at that young boy. Boy.
And you watch this game and you see the reason why Mahrez didn't start against Real Madrid in both games, because he's not really that kind of player that is defensive-minded player. He's not really that player that can actually track back the way Grealish and Bernardo Silva actually track back for Manchester City. And that is one thing they actually need against eye-line playing opponents.
Yes. And it's the 87th minute of the game between Brighton and Man City. Still 1-1. Well, it seems that this game might end in
might just end 1-1. Or maybe against the round of play might just be seen. One of them.
Anything can happen.
But if anybody's taking
3 goals has been chopped.
If anybody's taking this game, that shouldn't be doing that. Oh, Calvin Phillips against McAllister.
Yeah. I think Guardiola is trying to give him playing time.
McAllister is one fantastic player this season. When I saw he was 23 years old. 3 years old, I was just like, no. Like, seriously, I was actually thinking he's around 27, 28 years.
You know what changed for Argentina in the World Cup when he came into the starting?
Yeah.
There was a day they gave Messi
the man of the match, and he said,
and
no,
gave it to
it's
him.
supposed to be McAllister getting the man of the match. He's an energetic player. And you look at Liverpool team, what he'll be bringing into that team. This is a team that they got, Thiago, Alcantara. He barely stays fit, even as good as he is.
The age is
the age is stalling, and even while when he was fit and playing in the prime of his career, he has always been that injury-prone player. So getting McAllister into that Liverpool team is actually a good buy for them. Good business for Liverpool.
And it's the 89th minute of the game between Fiorentina and
like I said,
Inter.
that game
is
looking like an Inter victory already.
Yeah.
Right
now, Inter will be packing balls.
Inter, that's what I was about saying. That the Inter, I know, they'll be packing the box right now. And good one for Lukaku. At least he's getting a trophy this season. Something to
and
boost,
another final medal.
I've seen him talking to the press of recent, saying, he's looking likely he wants to stay back at Inter Milan. And if that's what he wants, I think Chelsea shouldn't force him coming back to Chelsea.
But they have to pay too. They collected 100 million, so they should
put the money there. At least if they can even pay just 50 million pounds. That I don't even think they're interested in paying that much for Lukaku.
They don't really have the money. Maybe if they win the Champions League, money will show.
Winning the Champions League, where you have Manchester City.
It's possible.
Wow.
It's a game of
football. It's a game of football.
Anything can happen.
2028 when Chelsea won the first. What was it? 2012 when Chelsea won the first one. Nobody actually gave Chelsea
any chance.
Even
the second one.
I left the view center at 86 minutes. That's barely a minute or 2 minutes before Chelsea got the.
Chelsea got the equalizer at the second minute.
It's the second minute. I left the view center around 76, 77 minutes because.
They scored 77 minutes.
Even though they scored the first goal. Bayern scored the first goal.
Yeah.
I left the view center because I was already having a rethink that, we're having another Chelsea versus Manchester United issue.
Yeah.
Because I remember that game when John Terry held on to the ball. I was just like, I was leaving the view center because I don't want the rumbles of people shouting. Everybody. Nobody will be able to go out of the view center. So when I saw John Terry with the ball, I was already leaving. I was leaving to go to my house, celebrating already. Then I saw everywhere was quiet. What happened? I was went back. Saw John Terry lost that ball. Wow, that's one of my saddest football experience.
I was just murmuring going on. I was murmuring like.
Those are kind of games that actually shaped my thinking about football. I remember the 2005 Under-20 World Cup, Nigeria final, the Lionel Messi masterclass against Nigeria. I was almost in tears that day because I was expecting Nigeria victory. Oh no! Football is a beautiful game. It's actually a beautiful game.
I think what shaped my own experience. One of it was that 2000 final Nigeria-Ghana. That Nigeria lost to on penalty. The penalty that scored that
Cameroon.
Ikpeba went to hold his head. That game was.
It was like a game. We have 4 additional minutes in this game. I can't just wait for this game to end. It's not. It didn't really. The second half didn't really.
They didn't really come to the.
It's not looking like the first half. The first half was so much interesting, so much fun in the first half. This second half, both of them just played a football that they don't want to get injured. Just looking like a friendly game in the second half.
That's the right word. Friendly game. They just want to close shop. The second half is. For many people, when you see this kind of second half, sometimes you might feel sleepy because it's dull, boring, no sparks.
Well, you can't take anything away from Manchester City. They can still get that goal out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's one thing about them. They can
especially the bookies that might.
It's not looking like Brighton.
And Brighton is on the counter.
That attack, and that is the waste of ball from Mitoma. Mitoma hasn't really been informed.
The Zerbi needs to work with these guys. Yeah. Work on these guys. Sorry. For their final third passes. They misplace passes a lot in the final
and if not for the what's it called, the ban this guy had, Ivan Toney, I would have really loved them to actually look into a player like Ivan Toney and getting him to Brighton. I think it would be a better shift for them than than Danny Welbeck. But you have strikers that this team's going down to relegation. They can go to They can actually go to to Southampton and get Armstrong in that team.
Yeah,
Armstrong is another fantastic striker. So I think these are players that can actually do good thing for them.
Those teams going on relegation now,
And they can actually go
they'll
for
be like
our very
shopping
own
complex.
Taiwo Awoniyi.
Taiwo
from,
might not leave.
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest might not leave. He just used one season. Out of the 3 teams going on relegation this season, which team do you think will lose the most players?
It definitely has to be Leicester City. Because Leicester City
and who are the players you think will get an easy transfer?
Players. We look at players like Wilfried Ndidi. Will surely be leaving. Kelechi Iheanacho will surely be leaving. He will stay in the EPL. You have Madison. When you have a striker like Madison, a midfielder like Madison that can get you double-digit goal and double-digit assist, he will certainly not be going to the relegation zone. You have Chumari in defense. You have Chonucci. These are players that won't want to go down to the relegation. Indeed. So they have a lot of players, and probably maybe if Everton finds themselves in that position, then we might be looking at Everton to having some good players that might not want to be. Our very own,
It will be.
He won't be going to relegation with to play in the championship. The championship is one of the hardest league in the world because you are not certain of coming back the very following season. See what happened to Stoke City. See what happened to Norwich. Not everybody will be like Fulham who goes down and come back the next season. They know how to play the championship. They know how to do it very well.
Yes.
And not all strikers will be like Mitrovic.
Yes.
And that really affected Mitrovic's career because he is a striker I really expect to be playing in one of the big teams in Europe.
Yes.
Not even in England, in Europe. He's a big-time striker.
Yeah, Mitrovic, you can't underestimate what he has done. And in the game between Fiorentina and Inter, it's the 95th minute already of the 5 minutes additional time.
I think Inter Milan should start celebrating right now. Getting the Coppa Italia it's a good one for them.
It's a good one. They FA Cup.
Yeah, it actually gives them the confidence going into the game against Manchester City. That's a needed boost for them.
Yeah, it's a needed boost. But, sometimes you can say, hey, you need to fear this Man City team, or else they will take you to the cleaners, like they did Real Madrid and Bayern. That didn't respect them enough. So they're a terrible team to play without being cautious of your goal. So now the 5 minutes of the additional time in Fiorentina versus Inter game, and the game just finished. Inter won. 2 goals to 1. Congratulations to Inter Milan. Coppa Italia winners. Man City game just came to an end. 1-1. It ended.
Good game of football from mentor and good game of football from mentee. Both of them. It's a game between mentor and mentee. Yeah, you can see the likeness between both of them. Like one of my friends rightly said when Zebi joined on Brighton, that he might actually be the heir to Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Pep Guardiola never eat that likeness, how much he likes Zebi. He's always saying.
Somebody said he was thinking of Ten Hag before.
No,
Ten
Hag.
Man, you went for Ten Hag because when you see the way Ten Hag was,
the happiness on the players' face. They are so happy about it, getting cementing their position for Europa League. Yeah.
Okay, there was still good difference.
You look at there's still good difference. You look at players like Cesaido. He was on the brink of joining Arsenal. Yeah. And it's not actually easy. No, it's not actually easy for their psychology. This is a player that is 70 million pounds. How many times you see that kind of deal? You know how much he's earning at Brighton, around 14,000 pounds weekly.
And today he played right back.
And today he plays right back. That's how good he is. I think that's how can I put it? That faith they had in him and him staying back, him being humble to the team, should actually be repaid, and they should let him leave for wherever big club he wants to leave. He wants to go at the end of the season.
Because for me,
as far as the money is right.
If Caicedo had joined Arsenal might be thinking of winning this title. Because this guy is a worker.
You look at a player like Bizoma. They allowed Bizoma to leave at the right time when he wanted to leave.
Yeah, so but he gave them some.
I think this might just be. I think
he gave them 2 to 3 years.
This might just be the last game for McAllister in a Brighton shirt at home. And this might actually be the last game for, what's it called, for Society also, for Brighton. Good game, or what is Pep Guardiola telling McAllister?
So, if you will now say...
Well, it's setting his last game. This, you can see him going to the fans.
Yeah. And when you look at it, really, the whole match, both first half and second half, what would be your summary of the whole game?
Well, the game didn't really live up to that much expectation of entertainment as I really wanted. Probably because it's a rubber stamp game, not a game they came into to get victory. It was just like you playing preseason game, and 1-1 is a good result for both teams. We know how good Brighton is this season. We know how beautiful and massive Manchester City is this season. So 1-1 is a very beautiful game, though it didn't give a real reflection of what both teams can actually do.
And halftime, Atletico leading 2-0 against Espanyol. I think that game is a Sokbio case. Griezmann getting the second goal. And on that note, you know, it's been a very good day to talk about football, especially with the fact that Nigeria won unexpectedly and deservedly against Italy today, the under-20. And you can't underestimate their performance.
Yeah, you can't
right now, they will be one of the favorites because Italy is one of the favorites too. When you beat the favorite, you become one of the favorites.
Coming into, although Nigeria is always one of the favorites whenever we're in the underage grade of football, because we know how good our youth team is. And
how very young they can be.
I don't know what you're saying.
No, what? How very young?
You need to see the Brazil team.
Yeah.
Then whenever you see the Brazil team, when you see the players in the Brazil setup, then you look at Nigeria and say, oh, we are not lying. We have people who lie more than us.
And congratulations to Inter Milan.
Yeah, congratulations to Inter Milan. Well deserved for them.
Thank you for coming. It's an interesting day of football.
It's always a pleasure being in the studio talking football.
You see, I was not wrong when I said, Nasabi man, the way he talks about football. And we'll be coming back to your screens tomorrow for the game between Manchester United and Chelsea.
Wow.
Manchester United too will be looking at sealing with just a draw their Champions League spot.
They should just try and play that draw with Chelsea. I beg, all the beating is too much. It's okay.
And I think we'll call it a day now. Thank you for joining us. It's been a long day. We hope you enjoyed this dose and the meal football has served us today. And we'll be back tomorrow again. Don't forget, now give up, now in fuck up. Keep chasing your dreams, run after it. Don't look back, don't look at distractions. Don't be like Arsenal that looked at distractions and fell to the sword of Man City. We learn from their mistakes. We don't hold them back. It's left to them if they wallow in the ocean of their mistakes. We hope that next season they can put up a better fight. Because actually, tomorrow never dies. So tomorrow we'll be here because tomorrow never dies. And with the game between Man U and Chelsea. We hope you will be there with us too. For now, it's a good night and God bless you.
Collect from Chelsea. Anybody who collects. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next season.